The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a sickly glow over the empty aisles of the gas and go. Another graveyard shift. Another 8 hours of counting lottery tickets and listening to the hum of the soda machines. I'd been working nights at this godforsaken pit stop for about 6 months. It wasn't much, but it paid the bills. The usual crowd was truckers, drunks, and the occasional college kid looking for junk food at 3 a.m. Most nights, nothing happened. Most nights. The bell above the door jingled at exactly 2:17 a.m. I looked up from my phone, expecting another bleary-eyed trucker. Instead, a man stood in the doorway, tall, gaunt, wearing a long coat that looked too heavy for the season. His face was half hidden in shadow, but I could see his eyes. Dark, unblinking. He didn't move toward the snacks or the beer cooler, just stood there staring at me like I was a puzzle he was trying to solve. "Help you with something?" I asked, forcing a smile. His voice was dry, like leaves scraping concrete. "Just looking." He walked the perimeter of the store, slow, deliberate, dragging his fingers along the shelves, not picking anything up, just touching, like he was memorizing the place. I kept my hand near the panic button under the counter. Finally, he stopped, in front of the refrigerated drinks. He stood there for a full minute, motionless, before pulling open the door. The cold air rushed out in a visible puff. Then he reached inside, not for a soda or a water. He grabbed a single ice cube, held it in his palm, watched it melt. Drip, drip, drip. When it was gone, he wiped his hand on his coat and turned to me. "You ever think about how easy it is to disappear?" I swallowed. Not really." He smiled. Not a friendly smile. A knowing one. "You will." Then, he walked out, just like that. The bell jingled again. I waited for the sound of a car starting, for headlights to flash past the windows. Nothing. He was just gone. I locked the door after him, called my manager. He told me I was overreacting, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I checked the security footage. The IP cameras caught him walking in. They didn't catch him leaving. Part 2, the second visit. 2 nights later, he came back. Same time. 2:17 a.m. This time he went straight to the counter, placed a single item in front of me. A key, old, rusted. "You'll need this," he said. "For what?" "For when you open the door." "What door?" He leaned in. I caught a whiff of something sour, like wet earth. The one in the back. There was a door in the back, a storage closet. We never used it. The manager said it was broken, jammed shut for years. "That door's locked," I said. "Not for long." Then he left. This time I did see him leave. Walked right out the front. But when I checked the footage, nothing. Just static at 2:17 a.m. Part 3. The third visit, he didn't sleep the next day. I thought about calling in sick. But something kept pulling me back. What if he's there when I'm not? So I went in. 2:17 a.m. The bell jingled. This time he didn't speak, just stared at me with those hollow eyes. Then he walked, slow, deliberate, to the back of the store. To the door. He pressed his palm against it. Knock, knock, knock from the other side. Something knocked back. I ran. Left the register wide open. Didn't stop until I was in my car, tires screeching. I quit the next day. But sometimes, when I'm driving past that gas and go late at night, I swear I see him, standing in the window, waiting. And behind him, in the dark, that door is finally open.